Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your spoiler alert. I am Mike with Mike W. Productions, as you might know. So, today we are talking about the third installment of Hawkeye, or The Kate Bishop Show. Yeah. So, jumping into that, let's do this. Alright, guys, so we are jumping right into episode number 3. We find out that Kate fell in a hole and got captured. So, yes, she did some window shopping, fell through, and is now captured by the tracksuit mafia. Still sounds dumb. So, with that being said, she falls down the hole, gets captured, blah blah blah. They get tied to these, little, mechanical ride toys that you see you used to see outside of shopping malls and things that are pretty much all but extinct because of the lawsuits that they had gotten because kids got hurt or fell off or something. It's not safe. Okay, if your kid's that dumb, that's just Darwin right there. You win the Darwin Award. So, moving on from all of that, they eventually figure out how to get out of the duct tape that they are tied up with. We do learn more about the girl who is the tracksuit mafia leader. Her dad was the leader before. When she was a little girl, we find out that she lost her hearing. So I believe I said that at the end of the last episode that I thought that she was deaf. I was right. She started losing her hearing as a grade school kid. So, okay. She didn't have the luxury of getting a hearing aid or being able to go to a deaf school. So she had to learn sign language from her dad. And we find out why they're going after the Ronin. And that is because the Ronin killed her dad, which means that Clint Bartlett probably did kill her daddy. When he went on that little killing spree. So, that's interesting. She grows up. We also find out that she is, I'm assuming, an amputee. She has no leg. She has a prosthetic leg. I don't know if she's an amputee or she was just born without a leg. They really didn't go into that detail. But either way, she has a metallic leg now. And she grows up in that, with all of these issues. But she also learns how to do martial arts, kickboxing, and stuff like that. And that is when we get our first look at her uncle, who is quite possibly Kingpin. And I'm assuming that's what they're going for here, is that is the Kingpin. We do hear his voice, but we also hear it from her point of view, and that is a muffled mess because her hearing is not very good, and she doesn't have a hearing aid yet, or at all. So her family cannot afford a hearing aid, even though Uncle is apparently Kingpin and rich. Does that make sense? So it's just a little quick cameo. You see his hand or something, and then you hear a muffled voice, and that's pretty much it. So moving on from there, they have a little fight scene. So Clint gets out of his restraints, starts running around. Kate eventually gets out of hers, and they steal what I think is an old Cadillac, but I might be wrong on that. When they could have stolen a Charger, because he didn't want to destroy the Charger, even though, yeah, it actually did get destroyed anyways. So, a little bit of backstory on the bad guys and why they're not so bad. Okay, so that's interesting. Bad guys aren't bad and good guys aren't good, apparently. So, yeah. So this movie is a little more grounded. There's a lot of gray areas with it because you're not good and you're not bad. You did what you did, and now you're living with the consequences. Okay, fair enough. So they have this nice little car chase scene where Bartlett is driving. Yeah. I thought this was called Hawkeye, not Kate Bishop show. So Kate Bishop gets a bow and arrow, and starts shooting the special arrows at the cars. There's one really garbage CGI scene where there's a foam that gets on a car, and I'm like, you guys have been playing around in Blender, apparently, and not in a very good way. If you're that CGI geek, if you could fix their really garbage CGI, that'd be great. So, moving on from that, we get a hard stop and take a little breakfast break, apparently, or lunch. I can't remember what they were actually eating. They're in a little restaurant, and we finally name the dog. The dog is Pizza Dog, because it likes the name Pizza Dog, and it was first appeared with pizza, apparently. I don't understand it, but okay, whatever. Pizza Dog. So, moving on from that, we have... Not sure. It's kind of weird because it's like we kind of stop the tracksuit mafia stuff and jump into Kate's daddy issues, and that's an issue for me because, like, okay, we just had this whole thing happen, and now we're going to go and do this whole other thing, and it's like, but why? So we have two stories going together, which isn't a big deal, but it's kind of meshed wrong. So she thinks that that her stepdaddy to be has some kind of ties to either the tracksuit mafia or some other nefarious stuff. She believes that he killed his father in the first or second episode. So they go and try and find out a few things, and they try and find out more about the tracksuit mafia, etc., etc. We do some typing on the computer. She gets blocked. There is a name on there. I can't really remember what it is. But there is... while she's doing that, Clint is walking around, and there's suddenly a sword in front of him, and it's the father-to-be. So, yeah. And he, of course, has the Ronin sword because he stole it at the beginning of the movie, of the show. And so that's pretty much where we end. And I honestly have to say the second episode is honestly still the most fun episode. The first episode, as I said, was pretty much just filler and exposition, character building. The second one, we get a little more of Clint doing stuff, playing around in the woods, LARPing. This one's a little more grounded. Heroes aren't always heroes type theme. And everything is kind of nuanced. So, yeah, okay. So, we'll see what happens in the next episode. Again, this one wasn't a total waste of time. A lot of fun little things going on besides the garbage CGI scene. So, basically, an okay episode. I will not judge the entire show based off of one episode, but we are running out of episodes fairly quickly. So, with that being said, I hope you guys like this review. If you do, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you don't, not that it matters anymore, but give it a thumbs down. It still, I think, helps the algorithm. If you guys want to see more, there should be a little button popping up here. And if you guys want to subscribe and see more episodes, there's a subscribe button right down here for you. Thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you for getting this far into the video. And we will see you next time. Friday, we're doing some Christmas stuff. So we will see you next time. Peace.